right, we're recording now. Sweet. All right, so this is my first time looking at the chart today, so I have no clue what happened overnight. I don't know what the bias is. Can
I have an
somebody
idea.
can somebody catch me up?
Yes. Overnight, absolute bullishness. The market is boom boom candles all the time. It just up after yesterday's open, it just up, up, up. That's all it's done. And today at open at 9:40, we had a 1 minute inversion bearish, which worked beautifully. Okay, and no other inversion I have seen until then from there.
Gotcha. What time frame did you say that was? That inversion?
1 minute, 1 minute this
Mm.
morning, and I'm looking at a bullish inversion now. 5 minutes, but it's not yet.
Hmm. Obviously, I think market's bullish right now. I
Mm.
Yeah, market's bullish right now, but this makes me want to take my foot off the gas. But overall, I like what I see. So, excellent low resistance liquidity conditions. Usually, oftentimes, going to lead to more favorable trading environment. We also got a relative equal high here as well. That's also inside this fair value gap here, even though it's been balanced out, rebalanced prior back in here. Basically, we got a little bull flag going on. A little bull flag. We had a change in state of delivery here. So yeah, our high time frame biases looks overall pretty bullish. I don't like that there's not an inversion that we can go off of. I mean, we have this, but at the same time, it's pretty small for my liking. But at least it's there, and it's delivering. But yeah, I would be inclined to look for higher prices. I don't really get. I don't. I'm not getting any bad reads. If this inverses, is the only thing I'd be careful of. Doesn't make me want to short though because I see us as being wrong one. I see us as being at the start of market maker buy model. So I don't want to short. Okay, really two big reasons. Coming out of these equal lows, we displaced so strongly from that. This sort of move, okay, we get a V-shaped recovery off the lows. 10 out of 10 times, I want you guys to be looking for the high. When you get a V-shaped recovery like that out of lows, and you have market structure shift, change in state of delivery, everything going on basically that you were looking for, I want you to be biased towards the high in this sort of scenario. The risk to reward of us being bearish off this hourly and then trying to take this short, we've got a better chance at getting our ass handed to us. All right, so I'm not the one in the control here today. You guys are. So I want you guys to let me know what you guys are thinking.
Can I start?
Of course.
Because last day I was on the big of a backseat, and today I have a better feeling about this one. There's a 5 minute bullish inversion going on. It took a very puny low, in my opinion. But maybe it still counts. So I want to ask your opinion on that. But other than that, I would try to take this one.
I'd say it counts anyway because on the 4 hour we gotta it's coming off that change in state of delivery, this order block here. So I would like that. Um, yeah, and if I look at it from the 5 minute,
Hmm.
I mean it's not. It would have been a lot cleaner if
Yeah.
it came down to this level here. I would bet there's an SMT, and I say that because market failed to take out all this liquidity here. Well, also that change in state of delivery was somewhere right along here. If anything, it looks like the Nasdaq is weaker.
Yes, you're right. So in this
Just a little
scenario,
bit though.
sorry, in this scenario, if the 5 minute fair value gap is inversed, we would long. It would be wiser to long the S&P.
You could, yeah. Personally, I'm not a fan of trading ES.
Oh shit.
I
What
feel like
happens?
it moves too slow. And I say slow, I mean, um, it technically pays better. Um, but the Nasdaq just moves better. I feel like the S&P is kind of robotic and slow.
My experience says you're right.
What would you guys want to do here if we got a 30-second inversion in this spot? Hmm.
Thinking. I don't think 30-second inversions like that should be taken.
Zern's not the only trader here.
I agree.
We got a lot more excellent traders here. And if nobody wants to chat, I'll be calling on people. Maybe we do get that run on sell side here. I feel like we would.
If we get that run on sell side, I'm definitely going to be looking for a trade now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so far it looks like it wants a little lower to me. Some of the slightly higher time frames, it's rejected off of the FVGs
Mm-hmm.
that it formed on the way down. So I don't know. It's kind of looking like it wants a little bit lower right now. So I don't know. It's probably best to just be patient at the moment.
Yeah, the framework is very convincing. But to me, I just read it as low probability because I'm anticipating that this is the start of the market maker buy model, to which I would see the market moving like this. Otherwise, it's all great framework, and I love this. This structure is exactly what I look for. But it's not in the most ideal spot for me. Let's look at some other markets. Okay, what do you guys think about this?
Very cute.
All right, I'm not going to mark out anymore. I could go to town on this one. I want you guys telling me what to do, though. I don't want to take that away from you. And you know what? Let's see. Redwood, what would you have to say? What do you think about this?
You would enter that trade if the candle closes above that gap. It hasn't closed above the gap yet, so I'm still observing it.
Drain said, I want to apologize. I've always been the one to ask stupid questions. Not that is good or bad. I don't think you ask stupid questions. But I tend to stomp on other people's chance to speak. I'm working on it. This place is intended to be wide open discussion. So I don't want anyone to feel like they're stomping on toes or preventing other people from speaking. I mean, there's been plenty of silence so far.
So would the correct move here be to wait until the candle closes above that gap?
You tell me.
I think so.
Well, I have a better one for you. I think the NQ is primed.
Oh, yeah?
It took a significant low. Whatever is below that is a fair value gap. And it just so happens that it could inverse a very tiny 1 minute fair value gap. It could, or it could just go lower. But it's taken every significant low.
Unfortunately, I don't see it repricing out of any previously unbalanced gap.
Correct.
This hourly's been balanced. That 30-minute hasn't even been touched. So these probably need to be traded into.
Yeah, just to give a counterpoint here, I'm looking at the higher time frame, like 12 hour. It's kind of be like setting up, like getting ready to go into a sell model, in my opinion.
You think so?
Um, yeah, I mean, just it's failed to make new higher highs.
Mm-hmm.
The let's see, the current 12 hour that we're in so far has a pretty large wick to the upside. Um, that it kind of sold off into so far. Um, Obviously, it's still 6 hours left in that candle, so a lot can change. But uh,
Yeah, it'll get a lot clearer going into the afternoon on
yeah, there
that.
was just a pretty good
But I
background.
definitely see what you're talking about there. I can see it pretty good on the 4 hour too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. It also appears like it could be setting up for a low resistance liquidity run. But um, I mean, isn't it true that the low resistance liquidity runs are typically stronger with the lower lows, like lower highs and lower lows, kind of setting those up? I mean, I know right now it's a bull flag,
Uh huh.
kind of appearing to be a bull flag. Um,
Can't,
but
I'm
isn't
not exactly following what you're asking. Can you elaborate a little bit more?
yeah, just like you're showing right there.
Uh huh.
It took that liquidity, that sell side liquidity there, on the 4 hour. Um, However, typically the stronger structures that I see for upside continuation, um, typically tend to be, you know, um, where the lows are also, just kind of making lower lows as well. So if we were to see the first equal low, or the I guess the second candle that made the equal low,
Mm-hmm.
that one, if we were to see that one, had gone lower, and taken out the sell side liquidity that's to the left of the first equal low,
Mm-hmm.
um, basically just kind of marching down, trading downward. Um,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Um, I would kind of agree with you just because we don't really see this kind of structure very often. We don't really get
yeah,
to
it just
see the
it just doesn't.
flat bottom stuff.
Yeah, when I've seen the flat bottom structures in the past, it just, not saying that it isn't or can't be, but I've just noticed that it's not as strong as like the LRLRs that have both lower highs and lower lows
Mm-hmm.
while they're building that structure. And it just from it appears to me on the 12 hour, it kind of looks like, I mean, we had a pretty strong, like the 16 June 6 a.m. candle. We had a pretty strong rejection um, off of that, which failed to make a higher low, or a higher high, excuse me. Yeah, right around there.
Mm-hmm.
Had a pretty strong rejection off of that, and then it tried to retest and reject it again. Um,
You're talking about this one?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And then you can see it kind of consolidated there, tried to retest again and failed pretty aggressively, and then now we just had today, we had that pretty aggressive buying at the start, but it failed to take out. It took out, a local high, but it didn't get through that consolidation area to
Yeah,
take out that
I
high.
got this internal buy side liquidity up over here.
Yeah, but just to the left of that, where all that consolidation was taking place, and now it's rejecting pretty hard off of that. It seems to me like it definitely wants lower. Now, I mean, it could certainly reverse course into this fair value gap, um, where it exploded off of at the market open last night. But um,
NQ is the only market that took this high.
yeah,
Now it's trying to reprice out of this gap. Uh,
so to me, it kind of, I don't know, on the higher time frame, it actually looks like it's trying to maybe set up for a market maker sell model. But, again, it's just a counterpoint.
hmm And that's good to throw out there as well.
question. How, if I can ask, how big should be the gaps in between candles to be considered? Because in that 30-minute fair value gap, in the upper limit, there's actually a one tick gap in between the two green candles.
If there's a gap, there's a gap.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't. It doesn't have to be like 5 handles or anything like that. If it's there at all, then that is all I need.
Right now on every single on the 1 minute on every single fair value gap that's being created, it's rejecting
Mm-hmm.
so far.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like it looks like about 5 minutes ago, had a little bit of a consolidation for a few minutes, and now it rejected off of that. So I don't know. I'd be interested to see, like, it'll probably test that consolidation area again. I'd imagine here shortly because it's pretty oversold, but I don't know. It'll just right now, yeah, it seems like it went slower.
Hmm.
What does everyone else think? Don't be afraid
lower,
to. Don't be afraid to be wrong.
Yeah, by
Okay,
lower,
this
I
is
mean,
a.
the CE of what you have marked there could be, plenty low enough, and then it could reverse. I'm not saying that it's going to have this massive sell off. It just right now it looks like it went slower on the lower time
Yeah.
frames. But I'll jump out and let others put their opinion in.
Wait a second. I have an. Can I ask? So, if we just took a low, a significant low, and we just took a significant high, is it crazy to think that we are looking for another extra low from yesterday's at 9 a.m.? I mean, sorry, today at 9 a.m. Thursday. Yeah.
You're saying because we took a low and a high, we should look for a low? Or what?
No, no, you're right. This is a stupid idea. Why? Because we showed displacement up. Therefore, after taking a low, we showed displacement up. So we are looking for higher highs. You're right. I take everything back.
No, I'm not trying to like change anything
No, I'm
of what you're
changing myself.
saying. I was trying to get a better understanding. But I mean, we got great displacement at both levels, which you normally don't see.
Yeah. So this great bearish displacement, I think, would tell me, even though I'm not expert, that we are headed for the lows, meaning 21,650. Of note, the 30-minute it has 50, no, sorry, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, and it seems like it wants to close above the consequential encroachment of the fair value gap, possibly showing intent to go up.
This is an interesting way to look at it. So if we go to regular trading hours only, almost looks like there's a clear intent to drive price to this low, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, that is really it's really interesting.
I mean, it opened here, takes it. No desire to go up anymore at all. Do any of you guys ever go back and forth between regular trading hours and extended hours?
I normally almost exclusively keep extended on, but I don't know. This is definitely a unique look for sure.
So I'm not trying to sway anybody's opinion either way by anything I say. Um, I just want to remind you guys again, like, you guys are making the decisions, and I'm just pressing the buttons. Um, but if there's an opportunity for me to talk about something, I'll talk about it. But overall, I want some of you guys looking to take control. But I'll tell you, I was taking my son up to my parents' house this morning, and I guess today is drive like an idiot day, and everyone wanted to drive 10 miles under the speed limit. Very convenient for me. Um,
Yeah, and here so far, we're once again seeing another rejection, it seems. So just something keeping an eye.
Yeah, closest below the CE. Hmm.
did we take that higher to leave equal highs?
Looks like it was taken, just barely.
By a tick. I would think that's noise, isn't it? I
You would think it's noise.
No, it's not. It's a tick. It's a full tick.
Oh. So are we sitting on our hands right now?
Yeah, the name of the game
What
for
are we
me
thinking?
is waiting. There, it closed above the 30-minute fair value gap's consequential encroachment, but it closed below the 1 minute fair value gap consequential encroachment, showing um, uncertainty to go up or down, and now it's going down. So I don't think there's an opportunity just yet. And this is the start of the first of the next 30-minute.
So you think pretty much everything going on now is just noise and we need to let it settle?
No, I think it's continuation down. There is
Hi,
noise
Manuel.
in the sense that it didn't want to go
This
down
is
at the end of
Keith
that
with
candle,
Zipper
the
here
30
on a
minute
recorded
candle.
line.
It didn't want to go up at the for various times in the 1 minute fair value gap.
Yeah, I just was giving you a follow up on the
That
Carbone
was presented,
Taqueria employer
but
Hey,
here.
High
It
there's
looks
Ceiling,
like
could I
you
have you mute
need
your mic for me real
cook
quick,
and a
please?
line cook prep. So I wanted to connect with you because we
I
have
don't think
locals
I
looking for
did hear what you
interviews,
said,
and that
and other
would
people didn't either. Can you repeat?
to schedule some time with
Hold on,
you
I've
to
got
go over how to
High
contact those
Ceiling
candidates with our platform and
on a
eventually make
phone
your hire.
call.
When would be a good time later today or early next week that would work for you, Manuel?
Okay, I think that worked.
It's no, not long.
Drain, what were you saying again? Sorry about that.
So summary of what I'm saying is there's uncertainty in different time frames, and therefore it can either trade sideways or continue trend, which is what it did right when I began talking. Meaning waiting time. And I mean uncertainty because it closed above the consequential encroachment of the 30-minute candle of the 30-minute fair value gap, and it closed below the 1 minute fair value gap. So it closed in between a tight range. And this new 30-minute candle started red, very red. So who knows? Maybe we blast up from here, but my
How do
guess
how do
is
candles move? What's the What's the
sigmoid.
4 steps of a
It's
candle?
it's a sigmoid shape. First goes down a little bit, expansion, and then at the end it goes yeah, at the end it goes down again a little bit, or the other way around if it's bearish.
Yeah, you're talking like OHLC and OLHC.
Open, high, low, close. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Give me just a couple minutes, guys. I'll be right back.
Ooh.
What's up, guys? Do we have anybody on screen, or is it all voice?
It's mostly
It's-
voice.
Yeah, just pretty much
Tallman's-
voice.
And Tallman's screen.
Anybody catch that short this morning?
Mentally.
Oh,
I
was-
swear to God.
I
saw
caught I caught every dime.
Oh god, I was watching it and I wanted to jump in and I didn't, and now I'm kind of kicking myself because now we're in the middle in no man's land, that kind of waiting.
I sold after we hit the 15-minute sell side, so I left some money on the table, but I had a good one.
Yeah,
I would have posted it, but I was also in a Teams meeting with 17 people that I was leading, so I couldn't really. I had to act like I wasn't ignoring them and looking at a different screen. Oh, let's see here.
yeah. I mean, so far, like looking at taking other indicators into account, this, I mean, it's kind of riding the oversold area. It looks exactly like it does on a bullish trend day. It just is looking like a bearish trend day so far, but I don't know. We'll see how it shapes up. But yeah, it's kind of surfing the oversold area.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna
Trade
get
in Switzerland
sorry about
by
that.
15.
Let me close out my book map so it stops screaming at me.
Trade in Switzerland by 11.
Goodbye, book map. Sorry about that. Yeah, after the 15 minutes sell side sweep, let's see what I'm looking at here. World. Where's the 15-minute? Perfect world, I'd like to at least see it sweep 21,650 ish. Or I'd look for anything long. We inverse
Can I
the
interrupt you,
15.
Norman? I apologize. Can I interrupt you? I think it's relevant.
Yeah, to speak up a little bit because I can't make my speakers too much louder.
Okay. In ES, price just took a low, and there's a 2-minute inversion going on. This is the one I would take.
This is the one you're looking at?
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right. We did sweep a low right there. Yeah, that's actually a good. It's not a terrible one. Let me look at the 3-minute. Is 3-minute? Nope, no, there's no 3-minute. What about 5? Yeah, the 2-minute is a singular gap. That's not a terrible play. It looks like it already triggered. Let me see something else here. Hold on. Not a terrible play, actually. Yeah, I'd like to see more volume in the move, but that's neither here nor there. Let me see something. Where is, hold on, let me see where NQ is. Does NQ have the same thing?
A bit
All right,
more.
are we long or short?
Looking there.
So I went.
Yeah, NQ, there's such
And-
divergence with NQ versus ES. I mean, I like that ES play. I'm not taking it, but
Yeah,
I
NQ did
also
just
wouldn't-
inverse, but
yeah, I would
yeah.
not be surprised to see this play fail. Mostly just because of one reason. Usually when you get a big drop like this and you sweep sell side liquidity, regardless of what time frame, from my experience anyway, it's always better to let it come back and retest it. I just in observing how I've been trading, every time I see this, I get excited, I jump on it, and I pull the trigger. If I don't go to break even really quickly, it 9 times out of 10 will go back against me. And then you catch the re-sweep of that low sell side. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense at all?
Yes.
Yeah, I usually would wait. It's tough because I see that and I'm like, oh hell yes, I want to take it. But I'm even looking at the volume underneath it. that green volume candle doesn't scream to me this is a reversal. So I wouldn't be surprised to see ES revisit that 60-10, sweep it a little bit lower, and then if we got another 1 minute or 2 minute inverse, then I'd probably be more inclined to take that.
Well,
If that-
Nolan, I know you use other indicators as well, so I'd assume that you'd probably be looking for that bullish divergence, kind of setting up with that second sweep as well.
Yeah, you always want to see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me look here. So, I mean,
Go
for me,
straight to me, Michelle. I'm in the
yeah, like we're in a good spot. Not to mention we're sitting, I believe. Let me verify before I talk out loud. We are we're sitting right in a 15-minute FVG. So I mean, you caught a good look here. I think you're thinking the right way. But I would like to see. Yeah, here's the 15-minute.
Take a look at the 30-second time frame on the ES.
30-second on ES.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm on it. The inverse.
Has not inversed yet, but if this does, it's gonna create.
yeah.
It's gonna create. I want to see. I kind of want to see if we can get a candle close below 60-15. Why? Because that would validate.
CRT.
That would validate this is an order block. Okay, and
Okay.
so you would have an order block here that's sitting right in line with this IFEG. That just adds more confluence. So
And it kind of did a CRT there on the 30-second, right?
You know, what, I'm
well,
taking this.
it already played out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. It
Yeah.
played out, so could potentially see a continuation upside.
Order filled.
All right,
I'm
taking
buying
that
one
long,
for you
yes.
guys because I'm surprised nobody said anything.
No, you didn't hear it. I'm in.
I'm long.
Wow, I hear you now.
Hell yeah. I mean,
Say it with your chest.
Hell yeah. You unbelievers?
Yeah, Drain was the one that pointed out. Yes, so he was.
Good.
Yeah, he was scoping
All right,
it out.
where's my take profit? I don't want you to be timid with this, please.
I set mine at 60-30. I got three contracts. I'm in three micro.
would- Yeah, I would have it at that wick just below where that order block where that consolidation happened.
There's my break even. Well, almost break even.
So does this not stick out to anybody?
I mean, I think you could. I think if you had multiple contracts, you could definitely, downsize up and then maybe hold the rest all the way up to there. But for a
So
short, I would look at right there. Yeah.
should I take more? Drain, what do you think? We haven't taken we haven't run our break even level.
Exactly. I think we should not go in. It's too late for that. I would have gone in with confidence at the close of that green candle because it's like probably one tick away from closing at the above the fair value gap.
Mm-hmm.
But I went with only one contract because I'm still practicing. And if I had gone with more, I would have gone with the maximum amount that I would permit myself for that trade with full confidence.
This
I
went
see.
break even there on that ES trade.
Yeah.
30-second. And then I'm targeting what is this? 60-30. I got three minis. 60-30 would give me 1,500 times 5 accounts, and I'd be done for today on Top Step.
I really hope this doesn't stop us. And I'm
gonna
worried about it
froze.
doing that because it left open this fair value gap here.
Should we? Okay, I would lower the break even to the consequential encroachment of that fair value gap.
Why?
To the
You don't-
lower band of that fair value gap.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't lower it to
Because
C. You're gonna be liquidity.
would you elaborate on that?
Well, you said you were gonna put your stop at the CE.
Not at the C, at the lower limit of the fair value gap.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I was.
So like,
I thought
are
you
you
said
saying
CE,
right
so-
here?
No, of the fair value gap that's still open. Yes, right there.
Hmm.
Why? So if the consequential encroachment is touched, I still have some wiggle room.
I would have put the stop loss underneath the gap.
I think I would have put it just below the wick of the candle that made the fair value gap, like just below the body of the candle prior to it. I feel like it's pretty protected there.
Hmm.
So like it looks like right around 617. I'm just eyeballing that though. I don't know. Feedback though. I'm still, kind of playing around with where to put stop losses.
I'll
So
be
I know a
honest.
lot-
I would
I know
not
a lot of-
move. I would not move my stop anywhere red at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
There's
I know
no
a lot of
reason
people
to.
here don't like trailing their stops, but I just raised my stop to 60.2175 on ES. Just going to protect these
Did you
profits.
guys
and I'm
notice
about to-
market structure shift after the inversion? Yeah, I don't see. I mean, this looks like a data wick in this whole price run. So I really think price is going to move there. I don't see a reason why it should come in here and then trade back down. Oops. And then trade back down here. This has already theoretically been balanced. It's probably still, I would still anticipate it to act like a speed bump though. So I would still probably, move that stop somewhere up in this range. But for right now, it's staying put at break even.
Hey, could you explain why you have your stop loss where you have it at currently?
Because we took the internal high here.
Got it. Got it.
So I moved to break even. That's just where I executed the trade. So didn't really. I mean, I was only one tick lower.
So if we took an internal high, that's when you would usually move your stop loss to break even.
Yes.
Okay, that's good to know actually.
Pretty much wherever the price leg that the fair value gap is in. So it's in this price leg here. The top of that price leg is where your break even level needs to be 98% of the time. And if you're not sure if it should be there, it probably should be there.
Would you move it to an internal high? Is it?
I won't move it until it comes up to this level. This other wick here. This is the only other significant wick in this whole price run.
Got it.
This one, you might say, well, this is actually the biggest wick in this whole area, but I see this as nothing more than an equal high. That price is gonna run through. And I say it's gonna run through, okay, because if you look at the high on the left versus the high on the right, okay, the left side is a lot more, is higher than the right side. When that left side is higher than the right on equal highs, okay, then you can anticipate price to run through that level. You don't want to anticipate price hitting it and then immediately reversing. That's going to happen literally probably 5% of the time. The other 95% of the time, it's going to do this. It's just going to breeze right through. And when in a bearish context, I'll just flip this. In a bearish context, okay, it's the same thing. The left side is lower. So I'm going to look for price to run through it. I'm not going to look for price to slow up at all. So what are we doing with this trade now?
I'm gonna be honest. I am a coward at the moment. I need to muster my bravery somehow because I will be taking profit right now. Like I will be
Yeah,
just
you have to will yourself through that. I'll just be honest. The only thing that was I was able to get through that was I had to will myself through it. Okay,
What
and
about
that forces you to trust this system even
now.
more.
I am not about being speed bumped, so I would definitely, for comfort, take profit at the fair value gap. Once we enter there, immediately take profit. That's what I would do, just so I'm out and I count my pictures. That's me. I know it's not part of the process, shouldn't be done, but that's what I would do today.
That's
You
reasonable
know,
to say. It's a
you
Friday.
know, I got an idea for him. What's her name? Zern.
Yes,
This is Tyler.
nice to meet
Dollar
you.
man. But yeah, so with that, hang on, I'm about to take profit on this. With that, don't be afraid of the speed bumps. It's not ideal, obviously, but what I tend to do is if you catch the lowest inverse, like we just did on the 30 seconds, so that's a great place to start. As soon as you hit your break even, if I know I like to trail stops, and the easiest way for me to do so is when you come into a speed bump. For Hayden, mark for instance, mark the one at what was that, 1050 ish? Lower, lower, lower.
Sorry about that.
1050 candle.
On the
1050
30-second.
right here, down a little bit lower. So see right here, mark that one down low. Yep, mark that. So when we broke over that, for instance, right here, 1050, I think it is. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm having
Mark
oh
that one
that
on the
one.
the right there, dark candle, black candle, big one down. Just for instance. So I would mark that. Take it over. So the second, so if we entered lower, so I see this speed bump. I'm gonna keep. Oh, I just hit it. Nice profit. Anyway, so I'm
Good
up
trade.
break even lower at what is it, 1105. So then I know I'm not in trouble. So when you see the speed bump above it, as soon as we break that, treat it as if that was when you had an entry. So all of a sudden, I would have raised my stop to the bottom of the candle that created that speed bump fair value gap. Does that make sense? And then I'll just ride them up. So it's not something to be scared of. It's just treat it as if you had a late entry. So now raise your stop to that area, and then it might keep you in these trades a little bit longer. Just an idea.
Mm-hmm.
I have to think about it because it was a bit long and complex.
So, oh, so
Put it in
let
written
me,
form.
fuck, I mean, I don't know how to do that. Let me pull up my chart here and see if I can just share it to the group real quick. Hang on. After I get rid of all my.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, regardless of the outcome, I mean, look how the price is interacting. Like you know, identified the speed bump, uh, and a potential where some people said that they would have taken, you know, uh,
Profit.
profits there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's reacting basically exactly how I would have expected it to do. You know, taking out that buy side liquidity while running into some order block type consolidation. You know, at a minimum, I don't know. Like I feel like if you're a little uncomfortable with it, you know, take the profit early. And then if the price interacts like it is right now, you know, where it's pulling back into that, you know, some FVGs that it made, um, see how it interacts, and maybe you have a second entry with a slightly tighter stop, where you can kind of protect the profits that you just made, but you can potentially jump back in and ride it to your next target. I don't know, just an idea. I also think there's something to be said about over trading. Like me personally, I have a max on my account of 4 trades per day, just because I
Mm-hmm.
found that it prevents me from
Making
getting into
stupid
trades that I
decisions.
shouldn't,
Exactly.
and it forces me to only look for the really solid setups. So
I have it scheduled for YouTube now.
It's
To
like
moderate.
it's like having a 6 shooter. You're only limited to a few shots, so you got to use them wisely.
yeah, yeah, I noticed it made a huge difference when I actually started using that, knowing that, you know, because sometimes I get into a trade, and if the speed wasn't there, like I would get out, you know. Um, but now I only have 3 trades left, so you got to make them count. So yeah, it made a huge difference.
Figuratively
just-
speaking, I say that
Can I say something?
it would be insanely bullish if we actually did not trade into this breakaway gap.
We just hit the 50% mark from Aegis session. FYI.
And there's 15 seconds left for a 2-minute bearish inversion that took a recent high. 10, and it's not gonna invert. Yeah, it didn't invert.
Did you say on the 2-minute?
Yes, on the 2-minute on ES, there was a very small kind of inversion going on, bearish inversion.
I'm not
But it
seeing one
didn't
at
pop.
all.
You're on the 3-minute, dude.
Oh.
I wasn't. There, that candle was super red or black in your screen. So, oh,
You got 1, 2, 3 gaps in this price leg here, so it's not you would be blindly trusting any of these gaps.
okay. So my reasoning for mentioning that, why I think it's relevant, is because we are in a bullish trade. If I see a 2-minute bearish inversion, wouldn't that scare me a little?
If you remember what's on the 5-minute, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
Which
I
is
would
you had-
just if I was seeing something on lower time frame, I would just, go up to like 3-minute or 5-minute and just make sure that stuff was being respected there. And if
Yeah.
it was, then
One thing I would actually like a lot of you guys to start doing more is when you get into a trade on like the 1 minute, let's say, stop looking at the 1 minute time frame. Stick like if you're in profit, like in this case, and it's a risk-free trade. Stop looking at the time frame you entered. Go to like the 5 or go to the 15. You're going to be able to see where price is actually going to extend to. A lot easier, but you're also going to be able to tell when something's bullshit. You're going to be able to call bullshit. Like, let's say on that 3-minute, the 2-minute, I'm sorry. You say, there would have been a 2-minute inversion here, but I also say there's a change in state of delivery as well as a breakaway gap on the 5-minute time frame. There's a pretty good chance that 2-minute is not going to matter. And the fact that the market didn't even trade into this gap is highly bullish.
0 ticks.
yeah, I think that's a really good point, Hayden, because like I'll oftentimes over the several days I'll look at the 30-minute and just kind of treat it like I'm looking at the 1-minute. And it always makes me, I'm like, if I wasn't trading like funded futures, where they auto liquidate at the end of the day, it's like, because some of those setups, it's like you could easily enter those trades and just be stress free about it, knowing where
Yeah.
the price is going, and just all the stuff in between is just complete noise, and yeah, it's just but so that's a solid point. Just zooming out.
Yeah, I think that because I am in the trade, it's tough to think. And I say this because I heard both Norman and Tallman talk. I understood every single word, but for some reason it's not clicking, which wasn't happening before I took this trade. So I think that's the reason why I said, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Could you elaborate? And yeah.
Alright, I'm in the green room ready to go live. Just saw this shot from Scotty Scheffler. I mean, look at this. Approach shot, he hates it. Let's go of the club.
Aiden, did it make equal lows there on the 5 minute? Those two candles.
Yes.
Okay.
What are we thinking?
That the market is playing with our emotions.
Now I think it's gonna go ahead and take out those equal lows there, and build a little more structure and kind of a micro LR type setup, and then it'll probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits, test the CE, and then, but right now everything's looking bullish, with the candles that we're seeing, I think so. I think it's just needing to build liquidity to get through that speed bump that we identified early on. So just out of curiosity, Hayden, are you seeing anything different?
Thanks for asking, though. Even though he didn't answer, but thanks for asking because I had the same question.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know if his mic's not working again.
Wait. Is Iron trading here? No. I seem to recall one of his videos. He showed a lot of candle formations and stuff. And what is happening right now, isn't that a bullish continuation? Meaning, a big green candle, 2 or 3 or 4 red candles that kind of go down, but not as down, or maybe build that lower. But then the next one is even bullisher because it
Yeah, it's just
absolutely
it's just a bullish continuation. I
with a
forgot what the candle formation's called, but I mean it's essentially, if you scale down far enough on the time frame, it's basically just building a micro low resistance liquidity run.
yeah.
Is all it's doing. So
Yeah, and I just remember I don't use any of that, and so I'm just building up opium.
yeah, I mean this so far this is it's broken out. It's past taking out that high, so it looks like it wants to continue higher at this point. I wouldn't expect it to. I don't know. Now I kind of changed my opinion. I'd be surprised if it came back and retested those equal lows.
If it blows through this 5 minute,
Yeah, it's looking.
if it blows through, I will put this take profit level at high of day.
You're gonna up it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised
I
no
mean-
one else wanted to point that out sooner.
I'm a coward right now. I can't point out more ambitious profit target.
Hey, I'll tell you this: if the longer you say you're a coward, you're gonna continue to be a coward.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Your words
Facts.
prove who you are. You're gonna be who you say you are.
Therefore, I will analyze this objectively. And since this 5 minute fair value gap is probably in 30 seconds, if it is absolutely pierced through in one single candle, that would mean a lot of bullishness to me. Now, I wouldn't go as far as to say the highest target that you just pointed, but I would go for the next high, which is 6,050 in ES. I would at least put it there and assess the path, how it gets there.
Why don't we put it up here, and then once we get to those spots, we'll trail our stop a little bit more. In fact, because we inverse, I'm going to trail it to the top of this gap.
Yeah, I think it's pretty damn protected there at that point.
It's protected for mainly two reasons. Can you tell me why?
Well, we had a change in state of delivery, and then the inverse, the IFEG.
It's a buy side and fair value gap.
It's a buy side. What do you mean in fair value gap?
That little blue line you have right there is right in the heart of that 5
Oh
minute fair value.
yeah. That's buy side inside of that. Yeah, I must have misheard you. But yeah, so we have the 5 minute inversion, change in state of delivery. So I guess technically three things. The breakaway gap here did not get touched. That's a hallmark of strong order flow.
Yeah, I guess I was more looking at the Sisti that's in the middle of the upper, the positive IFEG that you have identified.
Hey, Tolman, you said that just because it didn't touch the CE, that's a sign of good order flow. Is that what you said?
Because it didn't trade into the breakaway gap.
Got it.
Yeah, both candles have equal lows, literally to the tick.
And the fact alone that it's not going to try to trade to the equal lows tells you how strong the order flow is.
We should make a list.
Because there's probably so many kids out there that are trying to short this down to equal lows. Oh, we're back in previous structure, guys. We're back in previous structure. Let's go short. We've got equal lows. Untapped fair value gap. Let's go short. Meanwhile, we have all this liquidity above.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things set up. I mean, if the fair value gap that's working in right now, like if it were to, create a BPR there, then I'd, want to potentially see how that interacts.
I would move the stop just a little bit more.
But yeah, definitely not an area where you just blindly go short here, especially with the liquidity resting right above it.
VIX is back below 22, guys.
Can you say that again?
The VIX is back below 20.
Oof, good stuff.
Hey, I need you guys to go retweet my tweet. I just tweeted Alpha Analytics caught the low of day, hashtag no surprise.
Okay. Doesn't need to be now.
I just put it in the general chat. Honestly, I'm shocked though how clean this is delivering. For a Friday with no news, that doesn't happen very often.
You guys have no idea how much my mind is torturing me, saying just sell, sell already. But I know it's gonna reach at least that target.
The market has to run to certain spots. Like it's got to take. It has to take liquidity. Okay, it's not going to just randomly reverse for no reason. So you can feel confident in that. Nothing's random. I promise you, nothing is random.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Nice
look
call
a
out,
lot of it.
Photo.
A lot of it
Photo just
looks
gave me my
like
first ES trade.
a lot of it looks like it's random, but the more you learn, the more you see nothing's random.
Yeah, Zern, dude, I would like encourage you if just if you get into a trade and you're well within profit, like raise your stop loss to a place that makes sense. Where you're comfortable, you'll be happy with that profit if it gets hit.
Yeah, like if I
Um,
was in this and if I was looking for my minimum $200 day, okay, I'd be
Yeah.
perfectly fine just leaving this
Yeah.
here
And like
putting
you could literally close it and just go on with your day and then
Uh-huh.
look at it a couple hours later and see like what ended up happening and you'd be happy either way, Like um you don't have to stare at the screen the whole day, If you get like we've seen Nolerman multiple times where he'll enter a trade, before he goes to bed and then he just goes to bed once he's in profit. He just raises stop loss and
Yeah.
then goes to sleep. Stuff like that. Just try and make it less stressful on yourself to where you'll be happy with the outcome either way. I mean, once you get into profit, you're in profit, brother.
I mean, the going to sleep sounds crazy to me, but I like the idea. I will build that for.
It's
Yeah, but then he wakes up the next day and he made $5 grand in times five, while he was sleeping. So
Yeah. So I had a long trade last night, but it was in my IBKR account. I don't usually post pictures of that, but to be clear, 9 times out of 10, if I take a Asia session trade, it's usually because either an entire day or at least the second half of a day was accumulation where it just starts where we have a move early in the day and then it just consolidates the rest of the day and it becomes that chop in a range. Whenever that happens, that's usually my cue that come 6, 7, 8 o'clock, I'm probably going to have my iPad in front of me while I'm watching TV, and I'm probably going to take a trade because I'm expecting an expansion move during Asia. That's the only top reason I'll do those.
okay, that's interesting. I was always curious what made you enter those, and obviously they don't always work out, But yeah, I was just curious.
And if
yeah,
you
that's
and if and I'm starting to kind of gather my own rules as far as what is bad PA, what is good PA. Generally speaking, if it's a lot of wicks, small bodies, that's usually my first sign. And then another thing I'm looking for is for the candles themselves. So just look at the screen right now. You can take a look from 9:30 to give or take, what was this? 11:04. Decent sized candles. Every one of them are moving, give or take 5 ticks at least a minute. And then from then on, look at the size of our candles from then till now, from 11:04 till now. See how small those candles are? I'm assuming the rest of the day is probably going to be shit. I could be wrong, but I've made my money this morning and I'm probably done trading today unless something just makes me go, holy crap. And I full port.
Full port.
Which, by the way, I never full port, guys. I'm just saying I go a little bit bigger if I see like just a massive break and an obvious draw in liquidity. But right now, these candles are small enough that I'm not looking to trade anymore unless something just pops out. And then don't forget it. I believe today is quad witch.
Probably.
Yeah, or at least triple witch. Yeah, I think. That sounds right.
Yeah, it's quad witch, which I guess is triple witch now. But either way, I've had a calendar invite with a repeat on it every quad witch 4 times a year, and I've had that set since the iPhone was a thing. It's good to know. Usually going to be a tough environment, especially for PM when they start shuffling. I will say too, I'm surprised I did so well this week. I made great money this week. I did not expect it with the contract roll at the beginning of the week and FOMC. I went
didn't
in
really
every
either.
day this week in my mind saying, I'm not taking a trade today. And just so you know, when I do that mentally, it usually is when I make my best trades. Period. When I say I'm not taking a trade, because then it's going to be something super obvious and just something that's going to stick out, and I'm going to say, "Holy crap, I got to take that." Just mentally, I forget who was talking that said they weren't confident, but go in each day saying, "I'm not going to take a trade. I don't need to take a trade." And then when the trade pops out and hits you, you're going to say, "I got to take that trade," and then you know you're probably in a good trade.
I like that.
But yeah, Poto just gave me my first ES trade. I've taken it over. It's probably been a year. So thank you for the $9,000 ish this
Oh,
morning.
that was all Zern. Yeah, I have not
Zern,
traded ES in
okay.
a long time. Yeah, I have not traded ES in a long time.
Then it was Zern. Sorry, Zern.
No problem, man.
Let me go correct my
First
post
round,
right
so-
now.
Not joking. But glad you had those profits.
Nolan, man, what was it specifically that made you take the? You said you kind of ticked the top on that NQ short. What were you seeing that kind of made you enter? Did you front run it a little bit?
No, not at all.
Which one? You talking about this morning?
Yes.
Yeah, the morning trade, the short on the NQ.
So
I remember I saw a significant high being taken, which is, let's go to the 1 hour, for example.
So to answer your question, hang on, I got to move my boxes here so I can speak on it. There was a 15-minute FVG, and also in that 15-minute FVG on the 2-minute, I believe it was 2-minute. Anyway, I had marked a equal high that was inside of that 15-minute FVG.
Oh yeah.
So it literally came up to it, almost swept it to the tick, and then I took the 1 minute, and it was a little bit of a gamble, but what I did is I took that 1 minute at 9:39 a.m. I entered when it broke that. I put my stop at the equal highs that I had charted at 22, 132, 25. And then I put it at break even the second it broke the wick on the 9:30 a.m. candle. And then it just rode down.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing that
So
here
it was,
now.
it was equal highs inside of a 15-minute FVG. And that's what it swept. And then I took it. And then on top of that, my bookmark that I pay a lot of money for, it started kicking out all these warnings of sell 50, sell 100, sell, this, sell. So it kind of confirmed. kind of confirmed that I was in the right trade. But I also keep on one of my screens here. I also keep a chart with the VIX on it open, and ironically, right at that same exact time, VIX.
It was starting to climb.
Yeah, no, VIX put on a reversal candle and started diving. So these are all things that I use just to keep me in trades.
Wait, VIX reversed lower on the
Yep.
short?
Yeah, yeah. VIX. No, I'm sorry. VIX peaked. The reverse. Sorry, VIX spiked right.
Okay. Okay.
And I
Yeah.
I run my VIX chart. You can run it however you want. I tend to keep it on the 15-minute time frame.
Okay.
And so if you look at the 15-minute time frame at that exact moment, it put in a bullish engulfing candle on the VIX.
Okay. Yeah.
And I took it. And then when I exited it and started looking at longs, you'll see there's a 15-minute what do they call it? Doji candle. Right after a big expansion candle on the VIX. So as soon as I saw that, as maybe I'm in good on this one too for the reversal that we just took.
Okay, because that kind of signifies like consolidation / like kind of indifference to which direction.
It's just another piece of information. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
I trade, but I'd like to have as much information at my disposal to let me know. Everybody knows the word confirmation bias. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that says, you know what, you have the right idea. Stay in this trade. Now, if I'm in the trade, it's too late, and I see the VIX start not cooperating, that's when I will tighten up stops, and a lot of times I will start trailing a stop.
Okay.
We're about to get a 1 minute inverse here. I don't know if I'm taking it. I'm not. There's no volume behind it. Yeah, I think I'm done for the day, guys. There's a good chance I sign off here. I had a good weekend.
Yeah, I'm also not wanting to stick around here for the next 3 hours to watch this play out to the upside.
I wouldn't mind coming on maybe around 2 just to see if
And
there's
the-
some insanity.
And the
I
trade
got a
doesn't
couple
really
of
matter anyway, so.
Yeah, I just locked out Top Step. I'm looking at my take profit trader right now. I might take a trade. I'm up 4,000 per account and take profit right now too. That was mostly from overnight trade. Why is my chart not popping? Oh. Has anybody been having issues this week sporadically with TradingView not handles just having gaps completely in your chart?
It's been more than a week. It's been like, it's been a while.
Right? Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on with it. I've noticed that.
I'll reset TradingView. I'll shut it down and then open back up and then it corrects. But the other day I did that and it didn't correct. It was just done. It didn't want to show me a candle. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been doing it all the way back to when I was in the other group. But it's been doing it for a while. I don't know what suddenly changed, like what update they did, but yeah, it's kind of wonky, and it doesn't seem to matter what time frame you're on. It's just there's like a candle always missing.
Yeah. So I got everybody in the group, just so you know. Hayden knows this, and Iron knows it too. We've talked, but I'm in the middle of something with work where I'm looking. Long story short, I'm trying to fast track a cash out on a lot of stock and options that I have. Give or take a month, I'm going to be retiring and then going full time into trading. So I'll may be able to get on these a lot more often. It's just a matter of time, and I got to make sure I secure the bag with this company before I leave, though. So,
Well,
give you guys
congratulations. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm excited to do full time trading, and
Yeah, it'd be awesome to have you hear more. I mean, you're here all the time, anyways, but giving more like
I like doing the live videos. I just
joining these lives. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All I can really do now is post, screenshots of when I'm trading, but I'd love to do these live sessions, especially in the mornings. If we could do like 8:30 to 10:30, I would love to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's when I make the most money, generally speaking. Yep. On that note, guys, I'm gonna run. I gotta go grab some lunch, and then I'll be back next week.
All right, have a good weekend.
Yeah. I'll
Take
pop
it easy,
in
brother.
around. Yeah, man, and I'll pop in around 2 o'clock, see if there's anything cool that we can take, but I'm not expecting a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to see us chop between basically those two lines on Hayden's chart right now. Later, guys.
So,
Hit it.
And we're gonna get stopped on this. Still made profit, 212. That's the minimum you
Order
need
filled.
to have a winning day on Top Step. So we did our job.
Yeah, crazy mental win.
So that was a great trade. I'm gonna stop the video here.
all right, yeah, that was a good session, guys. I enjoyed that.